Buongiorno, ciao a tutti. This is Esther.
Alfred reporting, and we're reporting live from Sicily.
This is you, me, and Sicily. Thanks for watching. And we come to you every week talking about all things Sicilian. And also, we travel around Sicily, highlighting the people, the places, the history, the culture, and so much more on our YouTube page. But we're coming to you again today. As some of you may have seen it, on Sunday, I just returned from the United States. I went home for 3 weeks to visit my mom, my sisters, and visit with some friends. It was such a nice time, but I have to tell you, I had a little bit of angst coming back to Sicily about travel and so forth. I went into it in detail in the other show, but let me just report that it was really smooth. All I had to do was present my travel locator, my vaccination, and also I took a test in Catania, which is mandatory for all arriving from other countries. So that's one big news.
Let me ask you an important question.
Yes.
How does it feel to be back with the big bopper?
I missed it. Those split screens. I mean, it's much better here, right? What do you guys think? You like us over here like this or the split screen?
Oh, it's great having you home.
Thanks, honey.
It really is. Doesn't she look beautiful today? She's got that European Budapest kind of look today. She's got a really Hungarian look going on. Very, very hot.
Oh,
and by the way, speaking about very hot, it's been very hot all week. Today's a little bit of a break in the temperature here. Although Edna has been spewing a bit. But this weekend, Lucifer is coming back.
Yeah, they're calling it Lucifer, the heat wave. Lucifer, the heat wave.
The heat wave. We're going to have it's going to be over 100 again on Saturday and Sunday. But right now, there's a little bit of a break. And at 89 degrees, it's like I should put a sweater on.
Yeah, right. Ching ching to everyone watching. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so a little bit about the recent situation or the current situation here in Sicily. We are slated to go into what's called a yellow zone after August 23rd. Who knows if it's going to happen, because we superseded the threshold for the hospitalizations and the intensive units. Intensive units are about 10%. That's the max. Hospitalizations are about 17%. 15%, I was going to say community, 15% is the threshold. So there you go. What's going to change, guys? Not much. For those of you coming to Sicily, not much changes. Like always, mask outdoors and indoors. The only big change is you'll need to have one of those green passes or proof of vaccine if you want to go to a town hall also, or a municipality. And the other thing is, if you're going to the cinema or museums or theaters, they're going to be at 50% capacity. But really, and here's another big news that Musumeci, the president of the region, just signed. If you want to take a COVID test in Sicily and you don't have vaccination, you pay for it. Free COVID test only for those vaccinated.
Esther, you want to hear something? I'm making a prediction, okay? I think they're going to kick the can down the road. I think they're going to adjust the parameters. They're talking about this hospitalization to only make it several days, that if your blood temperature, if your temperature goes only to a certain degree, you can go home. If your lungs are breathing properly at 92.5% of capacity, you can go home. They are going to, as we say in Lawrence, Massachusetts, mark my words, they're going to finagle the bagel.
They're going to
these Sicilian guys, they know how to finagle the bagel. They're maestros at it. So that's what I think, okay?
Okay, we'll see.
I'm not worried about it. Here's the most important thing. Yesterday, nobody died in Sicily, okay?
Exactly.
Nobody died. And those who get the COVID, over 90% of them are unvaccinated.
Yeah.
So the answer is kind of obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. The other big thing happening is, of course, those fires from Palermo to Alia. There's some unfortunate fires happening all over the place. Even some farmers setting fire to land so they can have the land for it, because, they need some more land for their animals to graze. So they burned the land next door so they don't have to pay for it. Another farmer got arrested. Can't remember what province he was in, I believe near the Catania Plains, but he was arrested for, again, setting fire. So that's another thing.
Well, the big story for me is, because I'm a big fan of this particular band,
Oh, yeah.
Mick Jagger bought some property in Portopalo in the province of Messina. Now, I happen to be very intimately connected with this particular town for a couple of reasons. First of all, my first villa was in Pachino, which was right next door to Portopalo.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful tomatoes, the little cherry tomatoes, Europe's best, are grown down there. They have great cantaloupes, those, not cantaloupes, honeydews that Esther loved. They just melt in her
Jello,
mouth.
the melone jello.
Yeah, the
Those are
melone
good
jello.
everywhere.
The watermelons are great.
Mhm.
And their olive oil down at that neck of the woods is great. I had a beautiful place right on the beach. So Mick bought a place in Portopalo.
Mick. We're now calling
Mick
him
Jagger.
Mick.
Mick Jagger. Now, there happens to be two Portopalos. There's one on the West Coast and there's one on the East Coast. So he bought it right by, it's about an hour south of Noto, okay? And I actually wrote about it because I did an adventure there in my third book, Figi Beardo.
Yeah.
And I've taken a bunch of my pals from Massachusetts to eat at a restaurant there, which I've always considered to be the finest fresh seafood joint in all of Sicily. It's called Il Paladino in Portopalo. I haven't taken
No,
it.
you haven't taken
I took
me.
Peter
Hello.
Messina, my cousin Tony Palmisano, Massimo, Sato Messina. A whole gang of us went down there, and we ate like kings. And I've been down there several other times. And Portopalo is a nice town, fishing town, with a beautiful white
In 7
sand
years,
beach.
I
Yeah.
have not been there.
We have
In
to
7
make-
years, I've been in this country.
That whole
and we
neck of the
haven't been
woods
there.
is
I
Mazzamani,
love that area.
Pachino, Portopalo, and then a little bit north of that is Noto. Although Noto's been having some problem with garbage, huh?
Listen, let's
Oh my
not go on the
God.
garbage, because as someone rightfully posted, there was an Instagram influencer that posted some pictures from Noto, posted from a very particular area of Noto.
Yeah.
And the guy went back and said, hey, listen, she's from Milan. And he said, you know what? There's also trash in Milan. There's a problem with trash everywhere. So that's almost in Italian. It's a big problem here, but you can say that it is a problem in Italy all over.
Palermo has cleaned up its act. I mean, we've been all over them for the amount of
Yeah.
trash over there, but they've picked up over 200 tons in the last week of garbage.
Yeah.
Typically, Palermo, from what I was reading, manufactures or makes the citizens 60 tons a week. So they had a 3-week accumulation of backed up trash. And now what they're saying, the guy in charge of picking up, they got a new guy in the head of it, by the way. He's saying now he's going to be able to keep it now that they got all this backlog picked up.
And we've got all these tourists, a million tourists
Plus the
here.
tour,
So
yeah.
you've got the tourists probably, who knows what they're doing. But you have an additional 1 million people here to
Right.
consider when it comes to garbage.
That's correct.
Let's see. The other big thing that I wanted to talk about is yesterday was the second feast of San Agatha of Catania. Her feast is actually February 4th and 5th. It's celebrated a few weeks before and after. But yesterday commemorated the day that her immortal remains, her relics, were returned from Constantinople back to Catania. So it's a big celebration. Of course, not in person. It was a private celebration, but it was a big deal. My Italian teacher was downtown Catania. She went to an outdoor concert, classical concert, Rosalba, and she was saying to me, "Troppo confusio, troppo
Yeah,
confuso."
I
So
bet
a
it
lot
is,
of
yeah.
people were out for that.
If there's no COVID by the time February comes this year, I bet that Festa Sant'Agata is
Yeah.
going to be the biggest in the last 25 years. I think everybody is just waiting to go to that festival.
Agree.
Normally, there's over 1 million people that go, so I could just imagine how big it's going to
Okay.
be. Esther.
Before we go on, could I ask if you guys are enjoying this video on either Facebook or YouTube, please hit the like, subscribe to our channel, especially on YouTube, and share it with a friend. But we have much more, because what we did a few weeks ago is we asked some viewer questions, and we had one woman ask, and she had a few questions, but I really like this. She had the question about Malocchio.
Malocchio.
You've had that? The
Malocchio.
devil eye.
the
The devil
Malocchio.
eye. It
Do I know
comes
about
from,
that?
well, it
Wish
comes
I had a quarter for every time someone gave it to me. Believe me. Yeah, I know about it.
All right, so tell them. Wait a sec. First of all, it comes from the Italian male, bad eye. Male, bad eye. Malocchio. Now, you grew up with that in your house?
You go like this, Esther. Okay, that's what you do. You go like this, the evil eye. Okay, it's in Sicily and it's in the United States. Okay, and basically it's like a curse on you. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a curse on you. Okay, and if somebody does that to you, then they're not your friend very much. I don't think they like you very much. But there's a lot of things that you can do to protect yourself against the Malocchio. The first thing you could do is you can get a horseshoe, and you could put it over your doorway, which we have.
Ferro de
And-
cavallo. Ferro de cavallo.
Right, and it's not put this way like a regular horseshoe. It's put this way.
Yeah.
That way, and make sure you have a piece of red ribbon on it, because what happens is when the Malocchio comes through the door, it gets stuck in the horseshoe. So that's number one.
Ooh,
Okay.
I really like the story, Al. It's a
Well,
good
thank
one.
you. I'm just full of these little tidbits.
The
And
other
the
one is a
second one is the
corno.
corno. The cone, you've seen the horn, the corn. They call it, some people call it the horn, the cone, or whatever. You can wear the cone or the corno too. And there's even more esoteric things. Now, my brother Tommy, and I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
When my brother Tommy was a little kid, maybe 7 or 8 years old, he was kind of sick. I think he had rheumatic fever, something like that, right? So they brought in this old lady. My grandmother brought in this old lady who did this stuff to my brother Tommy. They got a candle with the hot oil and put it on him on the back and this and that.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. It was a wow. I thought they was having an exorcism, but this was another way to get the spirits out of the body. These traditions, okay, these go back centuries in Sicily. They're not something that come around.
Of course.
Are they as prevalent today? That's the more interesting thing. I think that people my age, for example, yeah, I used to wear a horn. I used to have a gold horn. I used to wear it. I mean, for 25 years, I used to have it. Then I replaced the gold horn with a crucifix. I mean, that was just me, okay? But other people, though, especially those in the New York, New Jersey area, okay, a lot of them have the cornu. They have the gold horns. And some of those guys, our friend Lauer up in
We used to sell them.
We used to bring them in for our friends, and they can cost from a low one, €50, the gold ones that are hollow gold, and then the solid gold ones, which could cost several $100s.
And then with the red on the bottom as well.
Right. That would be a very unusual one. You're correct. Yeah. But anyways, that's the story on that type of stuff. And there are a lot of other, and maybe next week I'll talk about a couple other.
Well, how about the pines?
Who?
The pines. You put the pines, the pina, you put them out there for good luck and to protect your house, right?
Yeah, we have them over here. Yeah, there's a lot.
Ceramic pina.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to know from people if you have any of these kinds of things that you do in your house or your family did to keep the evil eye out.
My grandmother, Augustina, let me just tell you one
Sicilian
more.
way of saying that?
What?
Malocchio.
Malocchio. Yeah, that's how you say it. My grandmother, Augustina, God rest her soul, she was like really into this mystical stuff, right? And I remember in the 6th tenement that she lived, six tenements there, all her relatives were in the other 5 apartments, and every one of them had salt on the windowsills. There was like just salt, and that prevented the spirits from coming through the windows as well. Did you know that?
What about garlic?
Garlic wasn't my particular.
that was my side of the world. The Hungarians, Transylvania.
That's right. You're exactly right. The Hungarians used the garlic. The Italians ate the garlic.
That was funny. All right, let's say hello to some people. Thank you, everyone, for commenting on my hair. Apparently, people like my hair up. We have a lot of people. Peter Scapoletti, Jean's Green Heritage also grew up with the same evil eye culture.
Yeah.
It was very nice meeting everyone over there. Let me see here. My nonna would give you the Malocchio for enhanced effect. She would spit on the ground. I love hearing
Does
these
anybody
stories,
remember
right?
this one when you knew you were going to get your ass beat when your grandmother went like this to you? Put the
That's a
fingers
good.
in the
What
mouth.
about
2 fingers
what
in the
about
mouth
the
meant that
roller?
you, when you were a little kid. No, I never got hit by a wooden spoon. I got hit by yardsticks. My mother used to tape some yardsticks together and whack us.
Ooh,
But my grandmother used to put the 2 fingers, and this one over here means you're gonna get it.
oh my
And
God.
believe it or not, we used to get it. Okay, we used to get it.
My grandmother, my mother, and aunts used to a process to rid the Malocchio with oil
and water in a bowl.
bowl.
Exactly right. That's exactly what I was alluding to before. Exactly right.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to I'm smoking an Arturo
Jimmy, that's
cigar
my
with you.
brand, Arturo Fuente. That's a Dominican seed. Arturo Fuentes is a good. I like the Maduros, okay? But in my day of smoking expensive cigars, way back when I was a high-powered lawyer in my mind, that's all I had was Arturo Fuentes. However, here we have Cuban cigars, and they're usually between 8 or 10 euro each. If I wanted to get a Romeo and Juliet, it's maybe 15,
that's nice.
15. Yeah, the prices aren't bad over here. But I like the Toscanellos because that's more of an Italian type thing. It's not a Sicilian thing. It's from Tuscany. Okay,
Manny said,
that's where it
Esther, you look so refreshed. It's got to be Alfred's affection. Of course it is.
Manny,
and the good weather.
You want to know something? She was very happy to see me. I'm not
Mhm.
kidding you. I mean, we, being away from each other for 3 weeks
was the longest.
It was the longest we've been away from each other for a long time, right?
Since 2019.
Since 2019. So I guess she knows all this stuff. But it was nice. The first day it was like, she was looking around at all the changes I had made at the house.
Wait. Excuse me. Let me just correct you. The first day I landed, and 3 hours later, I was on a live show with you guys. Right. So then I collapsed. I slept 13 hours. Right?
13 hours.
13 hours. 13 hours. And then I was like, oh my God, then the next day I was like, oh my God, what happened to you? You did a good job. The house looks
My house had
incredible.
Gotten destroyed last November. We had a very bad leak in the roof, which destroyed 4 walls in my house. I mean, literally, the paint fell off. I never saw paint fall off the walls.
We thought it was snowing.
I never
remember the Christmas tree? Right. You're like, Esther, come over here. There's snow on the tree.
So I hired this idiot, and this, I hate to call people idiots, but this guy was an idiot. Okay, he gave me a price of 300 euro plus the paint to paint the rooms, right? But little did I know that he meant he was going to paint himself, and he was going to paint the floors because
and the stairs,
and he got more stuff on the woodwork and on himself that after I kicked him out after I got rid of him after that first day, it took me 2 days to clean his mess up. And then I had to have a cleaner come in here 3 different times to scrape.
And I'm still finding it.
And it's still like a mess. But at least the walls are back to white and clean. So that's the most important.
Can I just go back to the cono first? Is that the cone? Someone was asking, what is the difference between the cone and the trinacria, which is, here's a Sicilian flag, which is the symbol of Sicily. But I would say this is much more of a used here. I mean, I see a lot of people with trinacrias. There's restaurants called trinacrias. There's companies called, trinacria. This is much more used in Sicily, the trinacria, as a necklace than the cone. Would you agree with that?
That's a national symbol. That's a symbol of Sicily.
The cone. No, this is
that's
Sicilian.
That's
not national.
Okay, the cone, the corneo is like a protective device, so to speak. It's like something to protect you against the evil spirits.
Right, and this is more of a symbol. The person wanted to know the difference. This is the symbol of Sicily. It's also the flag that's on the official flag of Sicily is the trinacria with the colors of Corleone and Palermo. Hold on. And you have the corn coming out of the Gherkin. The Gherkin is the symbol, Greek symbol. I wonder if Janine, do you know this? Janine Scipoletti, this is very much a Greek symbol. It originates from when the Greeks were here in Sicily.
You know, I grew up with a lot of people from Cuba, from Puerto Rico,
Mhm.
and from the Dominican Republic, where my neck of the woods was an Italian neighborhood, and then over the 20-year period, it changed first to the Cubans, and then to the Puerto Ricans, and then to the Dominicans.
Mhm.
And it was surprising that they have the same type of
Symbol. And the Isle of Man. The Isle of
No,
Man.
I'm not talking about Trinacri symbols. I'm
Oh,
talking
the
about bad luck things to people.
I think every single culture, right? You guys, every single culture, we need all the help that we can get.
Taboo.
You
taboo.
know?
They call it taboo. Yeah.
Well, I think every single culture in the world has their symbol of ways to protect them. So that's a good thing. You have a lot of mythology involved in that. It gives you a sense of protection. And, what do you think? I think it works.
Yeah, so I have to say something, Joe. I'm looking at you in the monitor over here. You look pretty hot today. Telling you right now, doesn't she look? She kind of looks hot. I don't know.
What
She's
about
got that Hungarian, more of a Hungarian movie star type of a thing than a more of a news. Yeah,
I'm Jaja today.
Can you speak
Jaja.
Hungarian to the?
What do you mean? To
Just,
the people.
yeah.
What do you guys want to know? Wait, leave me a comment and I'll translate.
Say, my name is not Jaja Gabor. It's Estevita.
Wait a second. Alfio says one of Al Capone's main men that was the collector of the cash was Orazio Malocchio Tropea. No relatives to me. It is said that all he had to do was look and to have the Jews scare you. That's very cool. All right.
Hey, there's Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
We have a lot of great people. Hey, we have a new member. Welcome, Violet. And if you don't know what a
Hi,
new
Violet.
member
Thank
is,
you for becoming a new member.
well, if you are watching us on YouTube, you can be a member where you can have discounts on merchandise. I put behind the scenes videos, behind the scenes photos, little extra in our members only. But you guys, all the videos like us coming to you, the 1-minute video I put together, a little virtual journey of Sicily, they're all free for you. This is really just a way to support this channel. So
plus,
there you go.
We have fun when we do these chats. We started this off as a lark. Was it 6 months ago? She said
about 6 months ago.
She was bugging
we started it in October.
Okay, whatever.
October,
okay.
almost a year
I don't
ago.
Want to do that, Esther. I don't want, because I've been doing so many shows my whole. I said, and she bugged me. So finally,
let me just say why. Because I felt like I wanted to come to you guys in person to keep you updated and to keep you connected to Sicily. That was the main thing. And then, we had some experts on. We're having a little bit of fun, but it's really a way that I thought, okay, we got to stay connected more than just the videos and the Facebook and, YouTube.
There's so much stuff that happens from week to week around here. I almost feel like we're like the nightly news from Sicily and keeping Americans informed about a lot of things, from the economy to Etna to the happenings in Palermo to tourism. So I think it's good. So after a while, it kind of grew on me. And plus, a lot of the people who have become steady viewers, and we have a lot of them, are my friends. Honestly,
it's been
they're
nice.
our friends.
I feel like we have a great community.
We do have a great community.
And every few days, on Sunday and Wednesday, I love coming to you guys. Let me get some of these. Al, did you ever frequent a bakery called Fitzgerald? Yes, of course, I did too. My family was from Andover.
In a bakery on Union Street in
Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Flat out.
The best biscottis.
No, stop. Stop.
The best bakery.
Stop. Okay?
What?
Stop. Okay. The best cannolis in the city were at Fisichella, and also the almond cookie. They call them pasta di mandorla. Okay. You know the ones that the macaroons with the cherry on top. Now, being from Lawrence, we were very fortunate because there were about 7 or 8 good Sicilian bakeries. I mean, very good Sicilian bakeries, but Fisichella, and I think they're still open.
I think, my mom used to take us. We liked the only Italian things that I remember in my house, in my Hungarian house, is we would go there, and for some reason, we really liked the biscottis. They had the biscotti with the almonds or the hazelnut. I can't remember, but it stands out to me. It was a great memory.
Biscottis for me were either, see, now you just said biscottis. So I'm going to say, okay, biscottis, you can go to Tripoli Bakeries on Common Street, or you can go to Piro's in Methuen. If you wanted the thos, you know what the thos are? And by the way, they sell them here. Those are they're like chocolate.
Only once a year.
Yep, only once a year.
October and November.
They're round and they're chocolatey, and inside there's some nuts. I used to go crazy in the city of Lawrence. I used to go to Pappy's Bakery, but Papalato family, but they closed down or something like that.
They have the white tones too, because here they have the white tones with the white
coating.
One.
The white one has the almond and lemon on frosting, but the doors are great. And when they come over here, I buy them. I'm not very big of a sweet eater anymore, like I used to be when I was a young guy. But if I see some fedoras, I'm going to buy them and I'm going to eat them because I know they're in 1 week. You're not.
I think. Well, it's only during the All Souls Day and during all that stuff.
You're right. The Paso di Mandala you could buy year round.
Anytime.
You know, the ones with the cherry on the top, and also obviously canola. You can buy cannolis all the time too.
Larry, yes, wheat. Yes,
what?
Wheat on the Sicilian symbol.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know why.
It used to be snakes. Okay?
Snakes.
But they changed it. The snakes will mean, the violence, the danger of being in Sicily, and people said, "Wait a minute, let's talk about the bounty of Sicily." So they changed it, years ago to the wheat.
Okay, let me.
I have a tattoo on my back. I have the snakes. I have the original.
The one you have on your back, you have the original.
Right.
Do you need the green pass to go into a grocery store to buy? No. So here's the thing: if you have your vaccination, and I know some of our friends that are up north in Venice, Americans, they try to show the CDC card. And they've been here for 3 weeks, and only one restaurant was a little bit confused about it. But you do not need the green pass to enter groceries. You only needed, and not every restaurant is asking. Like our neighbor, that has one of the shops around here. He's like, at the beginning, and this green pass has only been around for about a month. If you're watching this recording in August, it started around July. And he's like, I started asking, and our regulars. Go fangool. He's like, I started.
You know what that means?
Of course I do. Hopefully we won't get censored. But he said these are regular customers. He was telling me the other day, these are regular customers. We're not asking. So some places are asking, some places are not. There's massive confusion. It's very new. If you have your vaccination, CDC, you should be fine. Okay.
If you have vaccination, okay,
or proof of a negative at 48 hours.
Is basically what you need to get into this country. If you're going to go to a disco or a large gathering, you have to mask up, okay? You have to. If you're walking on the sidewalk right now, you don't have to mask up. If they really go in and drop the hammer, you'll have to put a mask on. But right now, you don't have to.
Right. So, but if you're joining us now, I did, the first 5 minutes of this video, don't go anywhere. But the first 5 minutes of this video, I go in depth about what's happening in Sicily.
Hey, Sean Lewis has a good comment. I love the Sicilian.
I put it. Yep. It shows
the symbolism. You know what's really huge in the Palermo area, Sean, are gargoyles. The creatures. They look like, I don't know, the things that you saw in that the funny movie Ghostbusters. Gargoyles, right?
You mean the one-eyed Cyclops? No,
I'm talking about scary statues. They look like
Gorgons. They have
Gorgons,
those
right.
in Naturale.
Right. In Palermo, if you ever go to the Villa Cattolica, the home of the most famous...
in Bagheria. In Bagheria.
Yeah, in Bagheria, Renato Guttuso, his whole house is festooned with dozens of gigantic gargoyles, and those are supposed to be to scare away the spirits.
Well, wait a second. Wait a
Okay.
second. Wait
That's
a
what they're
second. So
supposed
wait a second. The villa in Bagheria, which we did an entire episode, and I take you inside the villa and I show you some of those
That's
gorgons.
different, honey.
Are you talking about the one in Via Cattolica?
I'm talking about Renato Guttuso's house. You didn't go there.
I did. We couldn't go inside. The
Right.
one in Bagheria.
Right.
Okay. There's also another villa.
Palagonia? That's a
Palagonia.
different one, yeah.
But the guy had all these Gorgons, but he put it there because he had a really weird sense of art, and everyone
No, I was talking
complained
about
about it.
Renato. He's the guy that painted La Vuccaria.
Yeah,
Okay.
the painting in
Yeah.
Palermo.
Mhm.
Manny, yes, there is. So first of all, if you guys don't know this, since COVID and everything, I started a new Facebook called News from Sicily and Italy, where I just put the numbers up there, a little bit of news. But I would suggest the local is very good, right?
Local.it. I think you can
local.
get 10 articles a month before they put a wall up, and then you have to pay.
Yeah.
LaSicilia.it.
They don't, well, if you Google Translate, but the Google Translate is
No,
terrible.
you don't have to Google Translate. If you open it up in your translation browser, they do a decent job. You can get
Decent.
Palermo Today is a good one, and also Catania
What's the one,
Today.
the Facebook Rome, the Facebook page in Rome.
Yeah, Rome has a good one too.
Which one is it? Which one
I
is
can't
it?
think of it.
Not expats in Rome. I'll think about it.
But there are a lot. As
There
a matter
are
of fact, I got into the whole habit of scouring the newspapers so I can improve on my Italian skills, which, by the way, are awful. But I'm very good reading Italian. I'm not like, I don't talk that well. I talk like an idiot. She's taking lessons, and after even 1 year of taking lessons, she speaks it far better than I do. I'm stuck in my Sicilian dialect, which frankly, that's all I want to do.
That's all you need.
That's all I want to do.
Thank you, Gina. Yes, I was in the United States for a bit. Was back on Sunday. So been back for a few
Thank you,
days.
Gina.
Yes, a wonderful community. Used to go to Giuliano's in
Torrance, California.
We've got Carolyn here. The other thing I want to talk about real quick.
Caroline.
I know,
I've
right?
missed her. I hope you're feeling okay, honey.
Corn is the British word for wheat. I didn't know that.
Corn is the British word for wheat.
Okay. The other thing we wanted to, let me just look through a couple more of these.
Wait a minute.
Do you know of a book that talks about these symbolisms?
You know, Sean, let me think about that and get back to you next week, because I actually used to have a book of symbolisms on that. I have to look, though. I mean, I have to think about it. I mean, right now it slips my mind. You know, as you get older, you begin to lose the data that I used to store, but I don't have it anymore. Well, let me think about it, okay?
Nice to see
Sue
Sue, whether you're watching on
Walker.
Facebook or whether you're watching on YouTube, please, if you could hit the like button, share it with a friend when we're done here. But wait a sec, Larry, what's Larry has? I came in on about 10 minutes late. Did you mention anything about Esther's Julie? They're very nice looking pieces. Tell me a little bit. Well, first of all, this is part of the dress. This is my cross that we got in Taormina a long time ago.
Who's we?
And
Wait,
this,
who's we? Who's we?
we, you and I. And this, you guys, I forgot to even mention it, is my Hungarian grandmother's earring, which my mom gave to me when I was home. I got a lot of stuff. I went through a lot of my grandmother's stuff. We got this, and this is really, really special. Now, this ring right here is my other grandmother, my father's mother. These pieces are probably over 150, 1880s, 18 around there. So very special pieces for me. All right, listen. At this point,
Wait a
can I
minute,
just
can I say something?
Wait a sec. At this point, can we just talk a little bit about the new thing that we have going on right now?
Okay, listen, due to popular demand, a lot of people said, well, we want to get red stuff. See, when we originally made our order, we didn't order so much red stuff because the red stuff never sold that well. So now I called up the guy that's doing all our work for us, and guess what? Our red stuff is going to happen. So, for example, for the men's T-shirts, like not the long sleeve that you see there, but the regular men's T-shirts, you can now get them in red. The image on the right, the ladies' V-neck, okay? That's not a silk screen. That's an what is it called? Embroidery. In the men's that you saw, the men's piece over there is an embroidery. Hats also have red, black and red. Those are the colors of Sicily. So Esther has been taking orders all week. Contact Esther, because we didn't buy a bazillion pieces. We probably bought a total of about 500 pieces, and they're selling. So, and the prices are good, and they include shipping. My daughter's 2 kids are going to be shipping them for me. They should be arriving in 2 or 3 weeks. And then if we do sell them out, we'll get another load in for, after we sell them out. But go ahead and contact Esther. Esther and Vita, VA.
Well, let me see.
Right,
Also, let me just also say that we have hats. We have other things. You saw the women's V-neck. We've got beautiful polos, right? The polos
men's
are
polo.
men's
In
polo.
black,
Black
colored lava.
only.
Beautiful.
They're embroidered, right?
Yep.
Beautifully made. So listen, we have all of that. I put some stuff up on our YouTube page, Yumi and Sicily YouTube, and also on our Yumi and Sicily Facebook. And I'll put more those up there because I couldn't do that because it was the
It's
internet.
okay. You did great.
Pat Galfano is always full of great stuff. The Italians every day from Rome.
Thank you, Pat.
There's another one
We
from
the
Rome.
Italians.
They have it from Milan
Yeah.
too.
I read those every day too. It's
Okay,
simple,
let's see.
but I don't-
Jody says, what about carrying an Italian translation of the CDC vaccination card? Good idea.
Yeah.
We've mentioned that several times on this show. Anything that you bring that you can have translated, do it. The travel locator, which you must have coming into the EU, is on the European Union's website, and they have the English translation. That's all I did. And, as I mentioned before, they didn't ask for the green pass. No one asked during my journeys from Boston to Amsterdam to Catania, the green
Can
pass.
I make a special request?
Yeah.
Listen, I know a lot of people are listening to us through this broadcast, and I know I have a lot of friends of mine that are prayer warriors. Okay, but my next door neighbor,
Yeah.
this guy, his name is Andrea, and his wife. They're two.
No.
They're two beautiful people. They have 3 little kids. The littlest one is 18 years old, Tommaso. Okay, he was my favorite. I used to go over there every day and give him like a little popsicle or cookies and stuff. The kid was crazy about me. I haven't seen the kid for 3 days. So yesterday, I found out that last week the kid stopped walking. All right, he just couldn't walk. So the mother took him to the doctors, and they rushed him up to a hospital in Genoa, where he's going through all the tests. His name is Tommaso, 18-month-old, 20-month-old kid. So in your evening prayers tonight, if you could do me a favor, if you could ask the good Lord to look after Tommaso. His father's a great guy. Andrea's a great guy. He's a law enforcement
His
officer.
eyes are filled with worry.
I'm worried. I wasn't able to
know.
sleep last night. This morning I saw him. I says, "What's the story today?" He goes, "No," because he's here and the wife is up in Genoa.
Yeah.
And he says, we haven't heard anything. They're still doing tests, but so far all the tests they haven't been able to find it. So I did some research
He said something that it's probably something with the vitamin C. Yeah, but listen, here's the deal. He told me today that probably they're going to come back on tomorrow. So let's pray for that.
Listen, I just want the kid. He's a beautiful little. I'm telling you, he's a quintessential Sicilian beautiful boy. He's got a round face. You just want to pinch his cheeks.
He is that cute.
I would love to be his.
But he's the youngest of 3,
Yeah,
and the other 2 are
Mateo,
so beautiful too. They're so cute.
Kids,
And they
too.
sit out here yesterday. They were
said-
having the pasta with the spaghetti, and the little girl was like, I'm like, oh.
When this family moved in, it's been about 4 months. Esther said to me one day, this really feels like a family neighborhood now that these kids have moved in. It just made, and she's always bringing. Last week before this all started, and she wasn't here. She'd say Alfred, and I'd like read. She'd have like something that she made for me, and she'd give me like a plate of whatever it is that she made for me. So please say a prayer, okay? I'd appreciate it.
Sean says, listen, Sean, we're not getting the red polos now, but we do have the shirts in red.
The T-shirts are in
the
red.
Shirts are
the
in red.
long sleeve tees and the polos are in black.
Yeah.
Now, if we get enough interest, I'll order them for the next go round. I'll get polos in black or red T-shirt, long sleeve T-shirts in black. But for right now, because the embroidery really pops, the black background with the red and the yellow, it really looks nice. I'm hoping people like it.
Paul. Yeah, so we do have it on Facebook and we do have it on YouTube.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see. Catherine, 5-Minute Italians with Kate and Matteo is also fantastic.
Perfect.
We'll see. Well, here's the thing, Carmen. Let me just tell you that on the official embassy, the Italian embassy of Washington, D.C., it says, because I go on there all the time, that right now, strategically, the Americans do not need to show it because they can't get it. You need a codice fiscale. You need, what else did I have to put in there? Codice?
Testa
Oh, no, the
sanitaria.
testa sanitaria. So you
Yeah.
need some documents.
There's too many
to
things
have-
that you need over here.
Let's see. For flights, well, they do require a few other things. Okay. Yeah. We'll keep you updated. Okay. What else?
Lucy, right now I haven't.
We have prayers.
Lucy asked, yeah. We haven't, every time I come out here to have a cigar, I kind of like look over there to see if anybody's there, but no one's there so far. So we're going to see. I pray to St. Alfio, the patron saint, my saint of the Castagni. I put the word in last night from him, St. Michael the Archangel, who looks out after my kids. Pray to intercede for me. And I'm asking you folks. I'd like to get a few Irish people to say some prayers. Those Irish people, they
Have you watched the short documentary,
Where's
Nine
Billy
Good
Dixon?
Teeth by Alex Helpman? A must watch. I have not.
No, thank
I
you.
have not. Okay.
Can I tell you a story about the rooster?
Yes, let me
All
see
right.
where's the rooster.
Here's my funny story of the day. Someone says,
Here we go.
All right.
Our friend Jimmy Picks.
Jimmy, listen to this story. This happened to me about 10 years ago. My sister Anna, she's a big shot in show business. She was a talent buyer, or still is, talent buyer for Live Nation, and she buys all the Broadway shows, and she knows everybody in the business. And she likes to collect things for her house, okay? So
That's right. I remember this story.
she says to me, do me a favor, when you're in Sister, see if you can find me a rooster. I says, Anna, whatever you want, right? So I forgot to bring it. I forgot about it. I came home, right? I'm unpacking my things. I said, shit, I forgot to get the rooster for my sister Anna. So I ran to Home Goods, which is a big store in America, and right on the shelf, right, freaking rooster, a big ceramic rooster. I was like, oh my God, I bailed myself out. I bought it, right?
Wait, what did it say on the
down.
bottom?
I turned it, I said, product of Italy, right? I turned it upside down. I went home, I wrapped it up, went down to Connecticut to see my sister, Anna. I carried this thing. I even gave her some bullshit story, right? She opened it up. She goes, oh, thanks, Al. And she opened up a cupboard, and she put it in her cupboard, and there were 3 other roosters exactly the same, right? She said to me, Home Goods, huh? You forgot, didn't you? She has busted. She's been busting my chops.
I can't believe a connoisseur of all things Sicilian and Italian get it, would trust that it was not maybe painted. Jimmy Picks. Jimmy Picks.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Wait a minute. You see that, Jimmy?
5-2XL shirts. I got to write this down.
Right.
Long Island, Sicilian here. Thanks for all you do. We love you, Jimmy. Thank you for your support.
I'm going to make an executive. Jimmy, you know what I'm going to give you too? I'm going to send you a hat. A beautiful embroidered You, Me, and Sicily hat. Okay? So add that onto his list, okay? Jimmy Picks.
I sent him an apron, and unfortunately it was too small, and so he gave it to his mom. So I've been wanting to send him something. Wait a second. I need your address. Okay, 5-2XL t-shirt. What color, Jimmy?
Red or black?
Red or black, and 2XL long sleeve.
Those are great. You got to love those. And we're going to get you want black or red on the hat.
And he says, thanks
too.
for all you do. Our pleasure.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay.
Let me tell you another story. Okay, one quick more story about my sister Marina. Now that you know my sister Marina. The next year, I came walking into my sister's house. I don't even know if I've told you the story.
No.
I had purchased for myself in Catania a brand new Borsellino wool hat. The cappuccino's that I wear? And I was styling, and I love this hat, right? So it was 2 weeks old, and I wore it to my sister's house, and she says, let me take your hat. I gave her my hat. Let me take your coat. And then after we ate, I got half. I was in the bag. she couldn't find my hat. So I was like, oh shit, that thing cost me 125 euro. So the next day I called her up. She goes, Al, I've torn this freaking house apart.
Your brother took it?
No. What had happened was, after she was cleaning it up, she took the tablecloth, and when she went to go pick up the tablecloth, the hat was underneath the tablecloth, and she threw everything in the washing machine. So
she destroyed it.
She called me up the next day, right? She goes, I found your hat, but, and then she just said, but, and I said, I'll be right over, right? So I went over there. My beautiful Borsalino, it looked like a beret. It was about that big. The whole thing had shrank. Yeah.
Remember what you did to my special Timberland hat? You put it in the dryer.
Yeah, I did.
It destroyed. I was destroyed. That was like a very special hat. That happens. Listen, before I go, Mary Rose Canestrano. Nice to see. So we talked about
Thanks, Mary Rose. I spoke to her today.
And we spoke about Mick Jagger. I told her we were going to speak about Mick Jagger because she asked about me.
I love the I'm a Stones guy. I was always a Stones
Me too.
Guy. You were?
Me too. We need to ask Alexa to
I
play
have
it.
like 30 songs.
Well, why aren't we? Let's get Alexa out.
All right, we'll
Another good series in Italian on the television is My Brilliant Friend. I've watched 2 years so far. I hope another season will be coming soon.
No.
I haven't watched it. Ooh. In Malta, we have traditional boats, called luzu, with colored eyes on the front side to protection. They do that on the boats here too, Ocean Sunset. In fact, I posted a picture from Acitrezza with a beautiful hand-painted boat down there, and it had the eyes on both sides, which is a traditional way exactly to protect them. It's called La Potenza. La Potenza is the name of the boat that you have there.
I have a little something I'll disclose today, Esther. I'm sure you folks, or some of you folks, have seen that movie, Cinema Paradiso.
Yep.
Okay. My favorite movie of all time is Cinema Paradiso. It won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film 1 year. Okay. Every time I've seen it, which is about 50, I cry. Okay. The little boy, Toto. Remember Toto?
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy, the guy that was the projectionist, Alfie, remember that? Okay. Toto, he's still alive. And guess what? Last week, I tracked him down. And Esther and I are going out to the Palermo area, and we're going to do a piece on Toto. Right after we have a very busy August,
September and
October. Right before I go home, though, we're going out there, and we have a couple other shots, and we're going to do a piece on this guy Toto, who seems like a real nice guy. He doesn't speak a lick of English, though, so we're going to have Esther.
Well, I've been messaging with him.
You've been messaging?
Yeah, I said.
So how about that?
I said
Toto,
I need a week.
My favorite movie.
I said a week. I just need 1 week to, get my bearings, and I said, I'll call him that.
So, anyways, that'll be a good video.
Good one.
That'll be a good. He lives in a little town. He
what
was
is
in
it? In province of Palermo.
Province of Palermo. He did a few TV things.
Mm-hmm.
Italy TV. A couple of years ago, Ray Television did a special on him. But the man seems to be a very nice guy.
And I'm looking forward to featuring him. Hey,
yes,
Joe Marinelli, this is very good. There's an app called Docket that provides digital proof of vaccination immunization from user. That's a great advice right there. Let's see here.
Dopo?
Huh?
Okay. Let's get some info. Talk later.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to give a big cheers and a ching ching to everyone who's watching. Thank you for joining us. We're not done yet. We have another 10 minutes, but I just want to take a little bit of a moment to say how thankful I am that you guys take your time to watch us here and support us on YouTube and Facebook. And I think Jimmy said he was going to make a donation, so I really appreciate it.
Jimmy did make a
donation. Jimmy Picks, Jimmy Ingram. Jimmy Picks has been a loyal, long time. So has Jimmy Ingram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so has Jody DeLuca, who's here, and a lot of people who are here. I have the musical from the movie.
Cinema Paradiso.
I
I
listen
listen
to-
quite often.
It's
Great
great music.
It makes me so emotional. That music is.
I need
That
to
movie,
rewatch that. I need to
That
rewatch it.
movie flipped me out. The scene at the beginning of the end of the movie when Toto went back when he was an adult to attend the funeral of his friend, right?
Yeah.
Today in Sicily, they still have funerals like that where the hearse
right.
goes down the street and the
And-
people they walk behind the hearse.
And all dressed in black.
Right.
Yeah, and forget about passing through because you're not
That
passing. We've been
scene
stuck in behind those many
made
times.
me weep. I swear every time I saw it.
Can you name
I
three?
think that thing made me say to myself when I first came out, I got to go to Sicily. I want to see what the hell, it was tugging at my heart. So I was
That
so
was before
happy.
your dad passed away?
The whole thing, there's probably a dad connection over there because my dad, ever since my dad passed away in '96, he was kind of like the chain that kept me in the States, so to speak. I mean, he wanted his grandfather, his father, when my dad died, I kind of moved up on the rung and I could say, hey, and I said to myself, hey, I don't have to answer to anybody, even though I was 45 years old when he died. I still didn't, I don't have to answer to my father anymore. If I want to move to Sicily, I'm going to move to Sicily. But that's not how it was though. Growing up, it was like, you had the father there, and the father was always the father.
Mhm.
I don't care how old you are.
You know what persuaded me to come to Sicily?
What?
Your books. My interview with you.
Yeah.
First time in 2013. I was like, I got to see what this Sicily is about.
My biggest mistake in life was not coming here as a young man.
It's not a mistake.
I mean,
you would have been. You were
I had my
a different
kids,
person. Stop.
right,
You
I
were
have
a
my
different
kids,
person.
and I wouldn't trade my kids for anything in the world,
And-
or my grandkids. And I treasure them like you wouldn't believe. We talk every day, almost every day, okay? But I sometimes wonder what would have happened if
Al, you can't.
I came to Sicily.
Al, you can't
I
go
probably
through.
would.
But
I
Al,
probably would have
stop
been a
it.
mafia.
You
don or
cannot
something.
go through life.
You
saying,
dirty rat.
Al, you cannot go through life
I know,
questioning
I
what
know,
you
I
did.
know.
You were not the right. You weren't in the right place at the time to come to Sicily. Whether it was your father or
You're
Cinema
right, you're right.
Paradiso, the stars have to be aligned. Things have to, I wouldn't have come to Sicily maybe 15, 20 years ago. I was busy searching or fighting for a career in TV journalism. I would have been like, no, I'm a political reporter. I'm not going to go to Sicily to do all this stuff. So the things have to be aligned. You can't keep questioning them. The important thing that Alfred Zappala of today is here now. He's continuing the good fight. He's continuing the good work. And you can't live your life questioning stuff like that. And one other thing, Al, you were running a business. You were running a law firm. How the heck would you have come here to relax and enjoy? You had your secretary in one hand, your family in another, of both phones all the time.
Yeah,
So
that blew out my heart though. It gave me a heart attack, and I'm walking around with 2 stents
Let
because
me-
of my lifestyle.
let me just answer this real quick.
Sure.
Okay, what are the best beaches in Sicily? So let
Well,
me
we're
just
going to one next
say
week.
that,
Next
so
Thursday with my
depends.
quad.
I know. So depends if you like the white sand, which we're going to on Thursday. We're going to San Lorenzo in the province of Syracuse, which is all white sand. And listen to this: you have to make reservations about a week in advance, not just because of the social distancing, but also because it just gets packed so much there. The other ones are really on the West Coast. In San Vito Lo Capo. San Vito Lo Capo, year after year, has been voted one of the best beaches. Also over there in the province of Trapani, not the city of Trapani, in the province of, listen to me, province.
Provincia.
Provincia. The funny thing, Al, I was home, I started speaking to my mom Italian. I had some words. I came here, I started speaking to him in Hungarian. So I'm like, woo. So
Well,
what do
Mick
you think?
Jagger is nice though.
Porto Paolo,
Mazzamani,
Mazzamani.
that whole area. Ragusa, Marina di Ragusa is nice. Gela is nice. There's a lot of good beaches. There's a lot of good beaches.
Lucky Patio.
You met the Stones at a press
Fano.
conference at the
That
Astor
is-
Hotel in 1960. That was probably right when they came here. In
Oh,
66.
there's our buddy Maria. Of course, I said
Maria,
Salvito Lo
I just saw-
Capo.
Maria looked so hot in a Yumi and Sicily t-shirt. Did you see that?
I know.
Holy smoke. Maria, I'm going to take that picture of you and I'm going to hang it up in the house in the living room. Okay, I'm going to make it. Maybe I'll even do a painting on it. That's a good.
Alfio, thank you so much for that super
Thank you,
sticker.
I'll tell you what.
Great
I'm
support here.
in a
Thank you.
generous mood today.
Okay.
Alfio,
We were going to
give
send
Esther.
him
We're going
a
to send you
t-shirt.
a hat.
a T-shirt
A t-shirt.
or
Okay.
a hat. T-shirt. Okay.
Ask him, Martha.
Ask me, Alfio.
You're getting
is
a
it-
present from us today. I feel a little bit generous. So.
Well, we had decided we're going to do a little bit of that, right?
Okay. So
Alfio, I don't know. I can't remember. I think we're connected somewhere, but just write me in the description or excuse me, on the comments of this video once it ends or somehow get in touch with me and I will definitely.
Avila Beaches.
Avila
yes.
Beaches. That whole area, Jody,
Avila
that's in the
Beaches, Jody.
southeast. Also on the northwest, those are some of the best beaches. I'm curious if this person is coming to vacation or if this person is just coming for the first time. Yeah. Well,
Right.
they have to because they're trying to social distance and it's been so busy. A million tourists here in Sicily. So of course you're going to want to make a reservation. How did he send the super stickers? At the bottom of this chat, there's a thing that says you can do a super chat or a super sticker, and then it has like a dollar sign over there, and you can hit that, and that's how you do it. Let me see. We've had a great group here today. Let me just see here.
Yes.
Ella just emailed us a photo of me in my favorite hat. Perfect. Okay.
Jimmy Picks. Okay. All right. That's good.
Please write the name of the movie, Cinema Paradiso.
Cinema
Paradiso.
Paradiso. I think it's called the new Cinema Paradiso.
Nuovo.
Yeah, Lenovo Cinema Paradiso. It is on, for those of you who have Netflix, I believe you can get it on Netflix. Okay?
Yes. You can get it on Netflix.
You watch that. If you watch it, if anybody has never seen it and you watch it because I'm making a recommendation, the next time you come to us, next Sunday or next time we're on, let me know what you thought about that movie.
Yeah.
And we've actually been to a lot of the places.
Well, I was just going to say that we've been to
We've been to the places where
and one of the big scenes where they're watching the movie
They
is
were
in
watching it,
Chapalu at the Molu.
Right.
You know what the Molu, which is the little dock over there, the little
There's a lot of places that we've been to.
Wait, let me just answer this real quick.
Sure.
So if you go, and I think it was Rose Cornelio, if you're watching this and wherever you're chatting, you can put the super sticker or the super chat, and there's a dollar sign right where you're putting the comment.
If anybody, I'm going to make a new executive decision today. Can I make one more? We have another 2 minutes before we go. And Esther, maybe 300 people watch us now and a couple of thousand on Facebook. But as the day goes, tomorrow, the next, a lot of more people. So if any of you people, okay, this is only for today and this program only, make a donation of $50, whatever, on the super chat or whatever.
Or no, on the GoFundMe, because once we're off of here,
our
they can't
GoFundMe, we'll send you a hat. Okay, you just say you want red or blue. If you do $100, we're going to send you a nice shirt. Okay, you tell us what you want, a men's or a women's shirt, and you're going to get it. But it's only for one day.
Yeah.
1 day.
Shirt or long sleeve.
Long sleeve.
Or
long sleeve men's shirt or the women's embroidered.
Okay,
V-neck.
Rose, you're watching from Facebook. This is only on YouTube, but if you make a donation, Rose, to our
friend.
Go.
Okay, I'll see that, Larry.
If you make a donation on our GoFundMe, and I put a link on here or on YouTube or on You, Me, and Sicily, then we'll send you something. Yeah.
Rosie is watching there. Rose Cornelio, is that any relation to Frank Cornelio, I wonder?
Yes, it is. I think they're cousins.
Cousins?
Yeah, they're cousins. Well, how do you think we met them?
You're Frankie's
Esther, I agree with
cousin.
you. My sister and I look at each other and wonder why we didn't travel to Sicily sooner, raising our family and working. Now it's COVID, making us changing. Listen, Sherry, it's going to happen. The Lord Jesus Christ is works in mysterious ways, and there's a reason why you're not coming here. It will not be apparent to you today, tomorrow, or next year, but when your time comes, when you should be here, you will be here, and I'm a strong believer on that. On
Okay,
that
one more
note,
question. One more
Alfred
question,
Zappala,
and that's it.
on that note,
What's the que-
I just want to say thank you to everyone watching, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching
Yeah.
on YouTube. Ching ching, honey.
Esther, you're so beautiful. I feel like I should pay for the view. I think I'm going to throw a dollar bill at you as soon as the show is over. Am I a lucky guy or what? I am.
Hey, I learned the new one today. Arrivederla.
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 Ciao.
Ciao. Oh, that